Well, good afternoon, good morning, or good night, depending on where you're at and where you're watching from. I said that out of order, but it's okay. So, with me in second seat is the Karis.
Yes, I'm here.
Karis, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, and it's morning here.
It is morning.
At this present time.
10 o'clock. How about yourself, Eric? How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
You look great.
Oh, thanks.
He does look great, doesn't he?
Yeah, perfect. Well, today we have some more good stuff for you. Again, welcome to New Home, Same Address, where we're going to be talking about the ins and outs, ups and downs of bathroom and kitchen remodeling. So today's question, in reference to when you're going to go ahead and do a remodeling, you can answer this from a broad perspective, but also from the perspective of the owner of Ozark Kitchens and Baths. What does someone or should someone expect when they go to apply for an estimate or a free quote, right? So we're going to get someone out there and just talk about, starting the process. What from as soon as they enter their information, they get a thanks for submitting sign.
Yep.
What happens? Talk to us.
Well, that immediately comes to several people's email. So several people see it and can act on it pretty quickly. The first thing we're going to do is just give you a call and kind of figure out what exactly you want to have done and see if that's something we can help you with. Because we want to be able to help you, be a resource, even if it's not a project that we can feel like we're a good fit for. We have other people that we can recommend and send you their way. That's the first step. We set up a call, just kind of ask you a few questions about the project, make sure it's something we can help you with, and then we set up an appointment. Because we want to come, first of all, meet you, kind of figure out how we can help after we see it, and then we go from there.
Right. So what is the setting up the appointment process like? Is it something that people should be afraid of, or maybe to call in or anything of that nature, or what should they be expecting?
Hello, this is Karis with Ozark Kitchens and Baths. I'm calling in reference to your inquiry. No, I usually just give them a call, and then I take them through a couple of questions because there are a couple things we need to make sure, of course, like you referenced, Eric, making sure that we can even help them. Yesterday, I had someone call in that needed some kitchen repairs done. It wasn't something that we would even offer, so I was able to direct her to the right person, or at least say, this is what the question you need to ask, and these are the words you need. Because she's like, I'm not sure exactly what I need. I try to help with that as much as I can, hand them off to a trusted vendor. And then if it's something that does fit our service area or service set, then what I'll do is I ask a couple questions about the project. Sometimes I'll ask for pictures if you have them, just because it does help us kind of get an idea of what we're going to be looking at, the how large the project would be and how extensive. Also, if you have specific design ideas, we'll know, okay, the samples we send out, let's go ahead and send a couple extra samples of this or that, just to make sure we kind of give you a little bit broader, a better experience, so to speak. But then usually I'll try to find out as soon as possible is usually best. Most people want to get a price. They don't want to extend this out very long. If you've made an effort to contact us, then we know you're excited about it, and we want to share that excitement with you. Morning or afternoon, which works better. I look at our design consultant's calendar, and we find a time that works for everyone, and we put that in there. And then, of course, that sets off another little bit of a process. After it's on the calendar, you will get reminder email and a reminder text that your design consultant is coming out there at a certain time. And so you have kind of a triple reminder of your appointment. And then the design consultant comes out and is able to look at your project and proceed as needed.
Yeah, I mean, the initial steps it's nothing scary or intimidating. It's just a conversation. Make sure we're on the same page before we show up at your house. And, Justin, you're one of our design consultants. You could take it from the moment of the appointment, like what happens when you show up at their front door.
Yeah. I walk in and demand your signature. That's it. That's all I do.
So easy.
Easy. Anyway,
that's not how it works.
No. usually what I do, and I try to convey this to anyone and everyone I meet, is, come in with a sense of, excitement, but also grace at the same time. Not trying to rush, but also not trying to take it too slow either. What I would just initially do is just, greet each other, and would like to have a conversation about, what your project is. Where is it at, of course, all the design elements that are going to go into it, asking different questions about, the house's age, the projects that you've done before, and if you had contractors do them, and what you liked about those contractors. And the reason why we like to ask those questions is because we want to give you the best service possible. So whatever is going to make you the most comfortable in your home while we're there working, that's something that we're going to be striving for. So if you had a bad experience because, say, your last contractor who did something for you was really not communicative and would just show up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and the next day would show up at like 10 because he had something to do or something like that, and that was frustrating to you, if you make that known to me personally, I'm going to put that in my notes. That way we can communicate that to the team and also our project manager and our lead installers and stuff like that. But after that, I would basically go and look at the project and start designing it in my head and start taking measurements and stuff of that nature. I usually bring a lot of stuff with me, products that we back, such as Tivarian Onyx. I bring some cabinetry options, bring some flooring options as well. And then I would just go through and start measuring and, making sure there isn't any problems that are arising that are quick. Because sometimes, people just want to do it for luxurious reasons, and sometimes it needs to get done. So that would be a huge difference maker that I would make sure to have notes. After that, we'd basically just walk through our personal products that we back 100%. And then we'd go through all of our options when it comes to payments and terms and things of that nature, and then we'd go from there. If we wanted to get the ball rolling that day, we can, because I'll have the design ready. I'll have the estimate ready before I leave, which is like 99% accurate, give or take 5%, depending on if you decide to take away things or add things later.
99 plus 5 is not 100.
Well, okay, fine. 95% accurate.
Just to clarify, we know how to add. Most of us know how to add. We need to clarify that.
I can't raise my hand and say that I know how to add, but the gist is that it's accurate. The estimates are very accurate. That will have a good quality number to go off of from there. And if that's something that the client or the person is comfortable in, we can start that day. If not, we can hold off for as long as we need to. Our estimates are good for 1 year. So that's how long we'll hold them. That's pretty much the end of the process. So on my side.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, what if they decide, oh, wait a minute, I don't want that color, I want a different color, or that's a little more than I had in my head as far as a budget. Can you go back and adjust and work with them to find a product that would fit their budget, or is it just it is what it is, we can't change it at that point?
Right, yeah. So when it comes to that aspect, I would say that it is, of course, something I can do right. I can actually do right then and there before I leave if they want. If they want to go through and keep designing and say, actually, it's a little bit outside of my budget range. And I did like this one color from the other one. Is it a different price? Yeah, of course, I can change it right then and there. But when it comes to, say, our tub and shower packages, right, we have usually a range of numbers that are set within our estimator app. And so and the products that we get them from the companies, changing the colors or the design patterns isn't necessarily going to change the price for that. What's going to change the price is adding more elements to the shower itself, such as adding more, if you want to do double shower heads or something like that, that's going to be a little bit more, because then you're going to talk about a new shower head actually, and then more plumbing. You're talking about adding a niche into the offsetting in the wall and stuff of that nature. More trim pieces, bathroom accessories within the shower. If you want a bench or corner seats, stuff like that, that's where the price will tend to go up, because we're adding more accessories to it. But from just a basic pull and replace tub shower replacement, if you want to change the design, as long as it's with the same company, it's going to be around the same price. So nothing crazy.
How long do these appointments last? Because we get that question quite often. So we come and set an appointment, and a lot of times we answer that question on the phone, but just to kind of set expectations, like how long do they normally last?
Right. So I would say that I would like to take anywhere between an hour and an hour and a half. But I'm also willing to stay with you there all day. And I mean that seriously. If I need to stay behind, and as long as I'm welcome in the home, of course, I don't want to overstay my welcome, but
Sure.
as long as you need me there to help you design and answer questions, I'll be there all day, because at the end of the day, even if you decide not to move forward with us, we want to make sure that you know what you need to know and move forward with the remodeling project. Whether it's an urgent thing or not an urgent thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, 60 to 90 minutes is usually where the mark we try to hit. And one of the reasons for that is because it's very common for different contractors or companies to come in, say hi, do the estimate by themselves really quickly, and then leave. And so that's just not a model that we believe in. We believe in personal connection. And I do personally too.
Right. And it's not just about personal connection. It's like if you don't know what the client wants, how can you effectively provide them what they're looking for? So part of that needs assessment is what we call it, is trying to determine what our clients need and make sure that we're listening to be able to provide that. So it's not just okay, you want a new bathroom, check, here you go. It's more of a very interactive process so that we can kind of get on the same page and make sure that the products, the pricing it matches what they need or want.
Yeah, exactly.
And part of it too, though, what I have found I get questions about a lot of is that if you have a shorter appointment, you might come out and measure and take pictures and then say, well, I'll get back with you with a price. And then that can take weeks. And we've done it both ways.
If they ever get back.
If you ever get back with it. And we know how stressful it is on our end. Like, we have a stack of these people we need to get back with, and it's very difficult when you get caught up in the day-to-day. So part of the reason we do like to make sure we allow that much time is so that you can make sure you know exactly what they need in the needs assessment, and then be able to give them a price before you leave. So there's not a whole lot of, well, I'm still waiting for the guy to call me back. No, you already have it right then and there, and make it just an easier overall process.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And like I was saying, with the personal connection, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but personally, we might go off the rails there, be careful.
Yeah.
I like to, it's one thing to just be a construction company or remodeling company, but it's another thing to be like the guys they call on when something goes wrong, specifically with the remodeling, and the people know you in that area. I want people to know us in this area. You know what I mean? It's not about
by a good reputation.
Of course. It's not about just writing checks and then you run off in the distance, and then when something goes wrong, we're either out of business or moved or just won't respond to your calls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, we want to do we want to help you with your remodeling project, but we also want to be your go-to for life.
Contractor for life, for sure.
Contractor for life, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
and that's to say we don't. I guess we do make mistakes. Not every job flows perfectly as we want it to. But part of our commitment to our clients is we're going to fix it. Like, we're going to stay there and make it right, as much as it's within our power to do so. So I agree. It is a personal. It's not just a transaction. It's like we're coming together as a team to get this done for you, and we hope to just be around if something comes up, or if there's a warranty issue in the future, we'll be there to take care of it for you. So let's just say the client's like, yeah, I'm on board. Let's move forward. What happens next? Let's just, like for a bathroom remodel, what happens next? Should I answer it?
Yeah, I was like, look, I answer the phones and I set up the appointments. Okay. After y'all sell it, I'm kind of like, I will greet people when they walk in the door.
Yeah,
I'm good at that.
All right. Well, so I would say once you've agreed to move forward with us, the first and most important thing is to finalize all your decisions, like your colors, finishes, all of those things, and then we collect a deposit and start ordering those products, because we don't want to schedule starting your tear out until we have everything that's needed.
Right.
At least the key major pieces are in our hands so that we can keep the job flowing. Would you have anything to add to that next phase of after agreement moving forward?
I mean, yeah, just a little bit. I would say that. Sorry. That the general gist of it is, that if we can the faster we can finalize your design decisions, which I know is a big ask, especially, because you're not exactly sure. It's hard to, imagine the product actually being in there. But the quicker we can finalize those decisions, the quicker we can actually get to the project. And so, we would take those decisions, we would order the product, and then we would just keep you updated as things come in to the warehouse where we would store it. And then from there, we'd still be in touch until our project manager got a hold of you to go ahead and talk about, hey, we're about to get started here. We have you on the schedule for so and so. We'll let you know when we're 2 weeks out, or 1 week out,
right?
And then that way we can work at a time or a sort of schedule that works best for the home.
Yeah.
Because every home is different. It could be, hey, we're going to move to the other side of the house, but we have a door over here. We'll keep a deadbolt on it. Here's the code. Yada yada. So that way those details get worked out. And then day one, we get all this stuff. We get it in our big old trucks and trailers. We ride on over there. We kick in the door, and then we nicely and politely give a bathroom. Or kitchen.
Yeah, but it is important too. Like
Right.
you've talked about before in our discussions that you do set up dust barriers if it's in an area of a home you can
Right.
You can section off so that way the dust doesn't get to the rest of the house. And we do take precautions to make sure we park where you want us to park and keep the pets out of the area that they need to stay out of for everybody's sanity and safety. But I mean, there's a lot to getting to that point, but once you're in your home, you're going to take precautions to make sure we disrupt as little as possible.
Right.
Yeah, the beginning stages, once we've designed it, planned it, and the interim are very important because that's where most of the decisions are made. Like, we don't just roll up to your house and okay, so what are we doing? All of that has been planned out.
Yeah, organized.
To the best we can. There's always little things that we have to make decisions on the fly, but that process from the time you sign on with us to when we start your project also is dependent on material availability, how quick is it to get cabinets, custom cabinets, that sort of thing. So we explain that as we go along. You could anticipate a start date of around this time, 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks from now.
Right.
And a lot of that is dependent on our workload, availability of materials, and when we can get them. So.
It's a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
In the middle of some of the COVID crises, like the supply chain was way out, and it was so difficult to give people estimates and stuff. And you just had to be like, "This is our best guess. This is what they're saying." But now it's a lot better now. But that was a huge stressor for a lot of people at the time.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of our process in a nutshell. What would you? Either of you have feedback on a client that's maybe not in our area? Like, what are some things they should look out for when they contact a contractor or someone to come work on their home? Is there any advice we could give to those folks?
Communication.
Yeah, communication.
I mean, that's something we're constantly working on making better. I know I've talked to people as they call in. They'll be like, "Oh, these people that just automatically call," and I'm like, "No. I'm one person. I'm sitting at a desk with sticky notes to remember to call who." I was like, I do use a system, but at the same time, if something's really important, I'll use sticky notes to remind myself because I'm a little bit old school. But it's a very personalized process, and someone needs communication. If someone's communicating with you, then you know that you're top of mind,
Right.
and that's going to be important to know that your process is going to be taken care of going forward.
Yeah. Not only that, but just background information of the business itself. I would look into their insurance and their warranties and stuff of that nature if you really want to make sure that you're going to get the best bang for your buck over a long time of having that bathroom remodel or kitchen remodel.
Right.
With that, I would also say that when it comes to all that, it would be great if we all could just be like, hey, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to stick by our word. And of course we say that, and of course we do that, but also something that we do that I would also look for in different areas is make sure that's in writing, just for the safety of everyone.
Yeah,
Contracts,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? So that would be my advice too, is that it protects everyone in the party. That's just the world we live in. You know what I mean? I wish it were different, but that's just the way it is. So if they won't put it in writing, their warranties or insurance, or give you a copy or something of that nature, I personally would just say I'm out. I can't risk this much, because remodeling in the national average, depending on what you do, crazy. Too much money to be like, I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand, if the contractor doesn't have insurance and one of his employees gets injured on the job, that falls on the homeowner.
Yep, it's under the house.
And you will bear the cost of that. And so it does matter a whole lot that you have properly insured contractors working with you.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be my last bit of thought and peace on that.
I think we did a pretty good job on it. Covered it up.
Yeah.
And we are fully licensed and insured.
Yeah,
we are.
We do have those
That's
things.
good to know.
We do. Yeah, it is. Thank you for joining us today on this installment of New Home, Same Address. Thank you for being with us today. Leave your concerns, comments, and questions in the comment section, and give this video a thumbs up. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Thanks.